So here we are doing the night tour of Paronella Park. It was a beautiful evening, and they light up the park and take people on these night tours. So this was our first introduction to Paronella Park. It was the dream of Jose Paronella, who went to Australia in 1913 as a cane cutter. He saw this land and what wonderful potential it had. So he created Paronella Park, and he created most of it by his own physical labours and with his own hand. So he was a designer, he was a architect, he was a landscape gardener. He planted all the plants and made this wonderful paradise. So here we've got the cafe, which you'll see better during the day. It's very eerie over here, and people will see images and strange things on their photographs. So please take special note here and see if you can see anything in the dark. These are the gardens and the fountains, and it's very nice exploring and enjoying this wonderful place. I will give you a bit more about the history when we do the day tour, which is coming up shortly. This is very nice. You can do the night tour and day tours, and the price includes all of them. So if you look here, there's a little ghostly thing down in the background. Not sure what that is. But yes, you can get a pass for the evening, and it lasts you for a whole year. So all these terraces here are actually all built by hand. Incredible they are. And there's me on the bridge. The bridge goes over to the township of Mena Creek. So people from the town can come back and forth over this bridge. A few little waterfalls down there, and there I have my kung fu pants on. So all that writing on my leg just says Wing Chun. So now we're getting ready to go back to the cabin. There I am saying goodbye. So we stayed the night in the cabin there because they have their own caravan park. Very nice little cottage, and they have amenities there as well, like a standard caravan park. So now it's time for our vegan breakfast. So here's what I have. I have the toast and the dates, pineapple, and some cultured vegetables. Now I've got some kefir fermenting there. Good morning, my dear.
Heaven. It's hard, but someone's got to do it. We'll brave it.
Eat a nice vegan breakfast. Sit, relax. Don't rush it.
No, it's nice. You
Take
just
in
pull
the
the
food.
big handbrake on. Slow up.
Take in the food.
Just breathe.
That's our view. Looking at that. So here we are going through for the day tour, so you can see it in all its splendour. And this is the avenue of the Curry Pines, and these were planted in 1930, so they're just over 80 years old, and just look how tall and magnificent they are. And these grow naturally as a rainforest emerges, and are particularly beautiful when given room to develop. They're also planted with the hoop pines. And he did this in conjunction with the Department of Agriculture, or the Forestry Department, to ensure continuation of species. So these trees come with a proviso of never to be felled. And of course you've got the beautiful colony of the bats there, and this here is Palm Grove, where most of them hang out. And when they fly over the blue sky, it just looks amazing when their wings are open. Oh, it's just magnificent, and just to be there was just amazing. And there they all are, having a little sleep during the day. And there's a little bit of a fight here going on, which is quite cute. So here we went down to what's called Bamboo Grove and Turtle Island. So there was a lot of turtles in there, just haven't shown that bit on the footage here. So as you can see, there are lots of rainforest species planted, and there was different species plants and all sorts of things everywhere. Lots of bamboo groves, and it's a fully established rainforest there now, and it just looks magnificent. And to think that 80 years ago this was just like grazing paddocks and cleared land, and what he did was just absolutely amazing. Jose Paronella's dream was to build a castle. Whilst travelling through the beautiful countryside, he discovered a virgin forest alongside spectacular Mena Creek Falls, and he thought this perfect for his dream. He worked many a year to create wealth in order to fulfill his dreams. So he returned to Spain and came back with his new wife Margarita, and they were able to purchase the land so he could begin on his dream. Inspired by childhood memories of the Catalonia castle, Halsey and his work crew set to work designing an entertainment area. Their fingerprints in the cement foundations remain as a testament to their extraordinary efforts that guaranteed joyous times. Surrounding their home and castle, more than 7,000 trees were planted, including an avenue of curry that tower now like cathedral spires in a sacred forest, the ones we just saw before.
Golden orb spider. How big did you say it went?
Bigger than my hand. They grow very large as they get older. If I can get them in the picture. There they are.
This is the Teresa Falls, which is named after his daughter Teresa. This could be reached by what's called the Tunnel of Love. So you could pay admittance and go through this very dark tunnel and end up at the Teresa Falls, which was supposed to be a secret garden. So this here's the entrance to the Tunnel of Love, and as you go in there you can see a ticket booth that he was building, and if you take special note of the walls you can see his hand marks where they've done the plastering by hand. And then they had this very dark tunnel that people used to go down hand in hand and get to the beautiful Teresa Falls. So there you can see the handprints in the plaster. Of course this is now all caged up and is the housing of a large bat colony, I would say. So the Paronellas built tennis courts from the crushed termite mounds, and a pavilion with turret top balconies, refreshment rooms and changing cubicles for swimmers. Eventually a museum featuring a collection of coins, pistols, dolls, timber and interesting keepsakes. So this here is the little fountain that we saw last night in front of the cafe. And of course the cafe had a dress code, so you had to be dressed properly.
Hey, this guy built this park in the 1930s and he had his own hydroelectric tower and he had his own water supply. So why are we still using petrochemicals to fuel our power? Why can't we all have free energy? This here's the changing rooms. So the ladies of the day, if they went swimming, had to get changed here because you had a dress code to go into the cafe.
So Halsey built his own hydroelectric plant to power the 5 hectares or 13 acres to power the castle grounds, and it was ready to open the public in 1935. So this became North Queensland's first hydroelectric plant. So here we have these picnic tables, so people used to come here all the time swimming in the creek and having picnics on the picnic tables, and it was a wonderful relaxing weekend. And here's another good view of Many Creek Falls and the bridge going over the top, and then you have the cliff going up to his castle.
Exercise. Here's the flood levels. Hand-built steps by one man. That's the big flood level, 1946.
And then look at it over there, how high it was.
The water's down there.
Oh, that's a lot of water.
All because some farmer accidentally dammed up the creek.
The flood destroyed the refreshment rooms, but undaunted, they replanted the gardens, repaired what they could and reopened for business 6 months later.
This was called the Grand Staircase. First attractions.
So the Grand Staircase consisted of 47 steps. And he first built this to shift building materials between the lower and upper levels, so you could see what a hard job that must have been. And of course it was all made by hand.
The wishing well. And money. Apparently the kids used to steal the money in the old days and buy ice cream. It's used to sell in here, the ice cream parlour. This is the first thing he built, the cottage. It's now a museum. This is where they lived. And this used to be the grand ballroom where they had a movie theatre and they had dances. That's where the projector was. And over here, this one had big drapes on here. They had a stage. This is the stage.
So the movie theatre was transformed on weekends into a huge ballroom with live bands, and they entertained while a massive ball of mirrors spun from the ceiling to reflect a dazzle of pink and blue lights. It was spectacular.